What's going on? What's going on? We back on another day of the Transition Talk Show. Apologize for last Sunday, man. We were supposed to be in here, but then that weekend was a little bit heavy on me, so I had to take me a small break. But we are here again today. Appreciate you guys who are always tuning in, who are always following. Thank you guys for you subscribers. For the you who have not subscribed, please click that subscribe button, man, and that bell so you can always follow us as we go live every Sunday. Today, man, we're going to do a follow-up from the previous show, Black Love and What It Is. What was it again, Blue? Black Man. Okay, cool. Say it again for me.
Black Love and What Is It?
Again, man, that's my engineer, Blue, man. He's going to be joining in with me today. And we're going to do it like one thing that I had, a lot of things that I do, man, I go back and I follow what we do myself to see what critiques we can potentially make or how we can make the show even more interesting to you guys who's following. And one of the things that I really did like was the effect that me and Blue had created together with us talking and dialoguing, but it's one person you see, is another person you don't see. It just seemed like it just created a nice atmosphere. So, man, we're going to keep that going today. So, man, as I said again, we're going to touch back in. You know, we had the brothers on the show. We was talking about some things, and we was leading up to Bar B Q Cigars on the lake, which we do every year at White Rock Lake. And we just had it this past, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before when the show didn't come on. And it was a real good event. Man, we had a great turnout. Again, man, I thank those sponsors that came through for us and, man, really contribute to the men and made sure that the men was well invested too, so they can actually be able to see themselves greater to be a greater investment into themselves. So, man, we're going to go ahead and take out the show. Blue, man, what we got, bro?
Already, yeah, just back to what we were saying last week. It looks like we were on a path to trying to figure out where we were as a community when it comes to blacks and love and how we love each other.
Right.
Yeah, so at this point, I believe we were getting to safety. It's a safe place for black men to be able to love in their home? Is it welcome? Is it or is it something that is shunned? Just real quickly, I was talking to someone the other day. It was a black man talking about how we can't show any emotions. We're taught not to show any emotions, even if something hurts. You know,
right.
If our arm gets cut off, it's, oh, deal with it. Deal with that pain. You strong. You know, and it's like, dang, my arm just got cut off, though. I should be able to show some type of, emotion that this hurts.
Right.
And be comfortable to show it without being labeled less than type time. So,
right. And I think, with that, that kind of come back to what you were saying earlier. We live in different times now, right?
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be held to some things when life is constantly evolving and constantly changing, right? So I don't really believe that in this macho dominancy thing. I don't believe that's being a man.
Right.
I think that's being less characterized. You know what I'm saying, within who the man actually is, and makes him really become this shield and this barrier that really is more unpenetrating to himself than it is others.
Yeah.
So is that really healthy? I don't think that it is. If you was to ask me, in my own personal experience, I know that it wasn't, because I was one who thought the same thing and who acted out in the same ways, and I realized what it got me.
Right.
And it didn't get me to this point right here. It wasn't until I made some genuine changes in looking at myself and being willing to actually look within myself and say some things was wrong. And be willing to be able to voice that and realize it was more power in voicing it than it was in keeping it in solitude.
Alrighty. So I guess that would lead me to say, well, what does a safe place or a safe space, either or, look like for men at home?
You say what a safe space look like for a man at home?
Yeah.
Man, say, I could say let me just say me, not some, it's man, you know what I mean? Because I don't know, you know what I mean, for the actual man, the general man, but I can say for me as a man, a safe space, man, is where I can actually be open enough to say what I need to say. A lot of times we say, we don't say what we need. We say that we say the things that we feel will make things, smooth or all right. We don't want to ruffle the feathers sometimes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I want to be able to be in a space to where I can say the things that need it, and I can trust that it's okay to say it. I need to be in a space to where I can actually have a sense of moments to myself and know that that's okay. To be able to be fully expressive and not just partially expressive, I believe that's what a true safe space is, in order for you to grow in full and not in partialities.
Already, that's what's up. I mean, I think the same way. Like, I need to be in a space, like you said, that I'm allowed, and I say allowed loosely because we're free to do what we want, but allowed as in the sense of without receiving judgment,
right?
Without receiving criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like, constructive criticism is always welcome, but sometimes people just want to vent, especially during situations that may be sensitive to us.
I mean, but also you got to understand, man, that it should be something that you have already done for yourself without anyone else anyway. It's kind of hard to have an expression of love when you haven't really given that to yourself. You know what I mean? And to know that you created a space so you can actually grow within yourself first. I can't look to grow with someone else if I'm not growing with myself. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is when we have, shift altering issues, because why am I with this person? I'm not with this person because of what this person can do for me. You get what I'm saying? I'm not in these situations because of what these situations can do for me. I'm in these situations because what it is that I can do. That's what presented me to be here. So I got to be able to hold on to that and trust within that and continuously develop that and nurture that, so that can be actually seen. We have when we get with people sometimes, we begin to go into these misidentities of who we are. And then the relationship or the partnership begin to have some crisis situations, so it's going to be hard to try to have a space or a safe haven, that you can actually to grow in when you building it, on unsolid ground. So you first got to be solid within yourself. I just want to be able to say that.
That's what's up. Right. As far as like relationship wise with black men, even outside of like a love life relationship, just relationships period, like friendships, associates, are we able to be free and show our inner child as far as the spirit? A lot of times, to me, my perspective on growing up, cartoons, what was this? Hot Wheels, Transformers, there's different stuff, but it goes with you, playing video games, understanding strategy, you know what I'm saying? Understanding, I used to love playing Battleship, stuff like that.
Right.
Taking that experience to college, you kind of want to just be like, oh, I ain't a kid no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm done with that. But the inner child and the creativity that it comes with is needed in your grown-up life. It helps you build, explore, learn more. You know what I'm saying? And it's also a source of your innocence.
Yeah.
So how is that, or is it welcomed in our black communities? You know what I'm saying?
As at a general population, I'm gonna say no. But let's go to this first video. Let me dissect that, and then we'll be right back.
Awesome.
Cops keep killing us, niggas keep drilling us. You ain't really feeling us, talking like you been with us. Judge keep on tricking us, he wasn't in the field with us. Killer be killed, that's how it is, it get treacherous. Stuck off in the cell, wanna go home, but I can't. Old head told me this home for now, young nigga, but it ain't. I'ma stand on all 10 regardless. Mama made a man who heartless. Think about my daughter, that's what made this little time the hardest. Keep it stitch slip, I ain't never told on no man. You can ask the plug from day one. I ain't never switched roles, man. I was on that road, man. CO yelling cuff up, black box on my wrist, shit. I can't even touch nothing. Tryna call baby, she ain't answer, so it's fuck her. Shoulda never trust her. She fucking with them busters, no rhymes, just a pen and pad. Hoping that I look up. 10 years of probation, ain't hoping that I fuck up. Thinking about mud and bricks, never thought it'd come to this. We should be at the club popping bottles trying to fuck a bitch. I got all these bricks, but that don't mean shit without the click. I gotta take a sip every time I think about your kids. Seen Jaden at the store, don't know me, but he know my name. I talk to Unc every day, but still don't even know his pain. Veronica, only son gone. I know it's driving her insane. She told me watch these niggas, cause these niggas ain't what they claim. I cried 100 nights for Briss. He told me put my heart in this. How you kill Bob, bitch, even if you started it. They ain't give a shit, so she still on my target list. Get them all by myself, you don't want no parts of this. 7th grade, I lost my granny, you don't even understand me. Mama don't fuck with the family, it's too much, Papa's Annie. Having dreams about a mansion, more kids, I'm expanding. Get on stage and win a Grammy, hoping that they don't blame me. Catch me lacking, then they will, so I gotta stay with the steel. Still in the booth, still out here trying to get a meal. Still in the trenches, trapping still, I'm on the block for real. I feel like Biggie when P. Diddy was trying to get that deal, nigga.
We back on the Trainsition Talk Show. I am your host, Train, and I have with me, man, my engineer, Blue. Man, give me a summary of that last question, and let's just keep it going, bro.
Already. Do black men feel they can allow their inner child to be free in relationships or partnerships or just in general society?
Yeah. The crazy thing about that is you got to ask yourself how many actually know about their inner child. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. In our black society as a general population, right?
Right.
You it's some that actually know that does spiritual work or and work within spiritual healing and things of that nature. So they know about the inner child, right? And it's some who done been to therapy, right?
Right.
So they know, but there's a lot that we understand that have not. So in that dynamic, you have to ask yourself, where is that predominantly or mostly at? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's where I'm not getting the most education at. It's where I'm not getting the most understanding or awareness about myself at. So in these situations, they're not going to be able to do that because that inner child is still wounded. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if something is wounded, what are you going to do? You're going to cover it up. You're going to protect it. It's not operating from a healed perspective. To be able to be shown, to be able to be expressive, to be able to be free to be out. So that's one of the biggest things, man, is that we have to be able to really wake ourselves up in a way to we, not this wave of things, right? But genuinely shake us up to the point to where we see ourselves and we understanding who we are. And then we're going and doing the inner work of ourselves to really work within ourselves to feel good enough to express that and to share that with others. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's the only true way that you can really be able to offer healing to the masses is that I have to be doing it from that space within myself anyway. I have to know that I'm going through that myself anyway and being able to share that and say that. And that's how you actually begin to allow that inner child to begin to show its growth, and begin to live outside of itself and live life from its fullest potential.
Yeah, that's real. Oh, wow. Yeah, man, a lot of people have had, tough childhoods. When you look at it, it is more so of it goes back to the black love concept of this episodes we've been having. And before the break, as I stated, let's just say if you grew up in an orphanage, right?
Right.
So your experience of, let's just say, the subject Christmas may not be as delightful or joyful as someone who may have been living in a more prosperous situation as far as got a full family, maybe live in a nice neighborhood, can afford great Christmas presents every year, the family love is there, versus maybe even a suburban kid who maybe got one mom. It's a single parent household.
Right.
So now we're on a third situation, and this situation here is she can afford to get you good Christmas gifts, but dad's not around, and nobody's paying attention to you. Mom works all the time. You just want somebody to listen to your ideas. You may be a little spoiled, but these three different examples, when you grow up and move into society, all of them have different perspectives on their childhood.
Right.
How does it work when it comes to black love if we're all three black men and we all, let's say, end up in a church group or end up, in some type of situation where we're, in the same room? How would we connect?
Man, you know what? It's just us in here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it like this, right? You got to understand, to you, not to someone else, but to you, what is love? You have to be able to ask yourself that question, genuinely ask yourself that question, and be willing to come out with a genuine answer, right? So when you have a definement on what is love to you, then you can begin to go through the workings on finding out love. But it can't be built off of superficial things, because that's not love, right?
Right.
It has to be something more solid. So for me, when I characterize love as a principle, not an emotion, not a feeling, it's just something that is and is unchanged. Can I myself now give that feel and unchanged to myself, no matter conditions, no matter circumstances, no matter people, relatives, loved ones? Can I really, be this to myself? Can I really be well with myself? That's love. At all times, right? But even if I slack, even if I miss the mark with myself, do I fall out with myself? I don't. I stay well with myself. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because that wellness allow me to get back up and to dust myself and to continue, right?
Right.
So this is something that we got to first learn for ourselves. This is something that we have to have for ourselves in order for me to now know what I stand on and see it within myself. So when I do come across others, I can know where I stand, but I can see where they stand. Now this is respect. Right?
Right.
Now, if I can respect you, I gave you my love because I respect myself, right? See, the only thing that we're doing is portraying something out in everything that we do. We're portraying, rays of light, you know what I mean? Or we're portraying, shades of darkness. It doesn't make either or wrong or right. It's just an understanding on where you are and how you respond. But if I have strong principles, no matter, I'm going to respond properly.
Okay. With that being said, I like that. Let's stay right there as far as like the principles, strong principles. Is there a necessity to reestablish principles in our communities?
Is there a necessity to?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it is. I mean, let's just be real, man. If you're talking about black communities, right?
Yeah.
Then yes, it is. We stay in a community that talks about, caring for one another, but don't show the operation of it always. Something has to happen. It's not an everyday thing, you know what I mean? It's not an intentional thing. It's not a purposeful thing to actually, man, come up, get up, and be loving in this community, right?
Right.
That's not the life we see. So when you say that, yeah, it has to be, and I just genuinely believe that wherever there is not a sense of strong structure, there's a stronger sense of chaos.
Yikes. No, that's true.
So with ourselves, I have to ask myself, what is it that I see most of? I see great things. I see it both ways though. And if you was to put a percentage on it, you get what I'm saying? In our community, in black communities, if you was to put a percentage on it, we're in the negative. You can pull up statistics, man, and look in every city records and see where the predominant blacks are and what those communities looks like and who's doing the damage in them. We can put blame. We love faulting others. But faulting myself is showing the love of myself, right? That I get better and I get right. And I do more of me so I can offer that out.
You know what? All right, I think we're getting somewhere with this one. Hold on, man. You said the communities and the damage in the predominantly black communities at that, and who is actually doing the damage. What do you believe the general goal of those communities are?
The goal of that community?
Yeah, just a general goal of that community. Let's just say the roughest community in Dallas right now, a small sector, a couple of blocks of houses. What is that general area ultimate goal? What do you believe?
I believe it's a lack of a goal.
So no goals are present, period.
Not enough collectively.
I can definitely see that.
And this is why you have a great movement, you know what I mean, that's going in a unwell fashion. This is why we're losing our community. We're losing our neighborhood. We're losing our homes. We're losing our families. This is why we're losing it.
Yeah.
Because we don't share, a collective goal, even though we may have a goal of our own. See, once I realize that I got my own chessboard, I may be the king on it, but I have to play multiple chessboards, and I may have to be the knight or the bishop or the rook on another. Mm-hmm. And at some points, I even had to be the pawn. But am I willing?
Right.
A lot of us don't have a true, strong desire or will for what it is that we say we truly desire. And that's just because, man, there's a lack of tools and teaching on how to do that. It's not highly publicized. It's not showcased. What's showcased, is, man, really to hurt yourself and to make it feel good doing it.
So, in the ninth, I wasn't born back then, but based on history and what was happening in the boom of our communities, based on the 50s, 60s, early 70s, compared to now, what did we have right that we got wrong now? Because we were starting to build our communities.
Togetherness, family structure. See, let's understand this, right? As a collective, everyone felt threatened by not each other, but by their society. So they banded together, right?
Yeah.
they structured together, they organized together. You know, they did everything together. They watched out for one another because they knew everything else was against them, right?
Right.
We don't seem to know this no more.
Is it safe to say that it started in a certain generation? Because, I mean, it's only one generation that come after the 50s and 60s, and unfortunately, that would be our parents' generation. And unfortunately, it's the boom of corporate. You know, it changed a lot. I remember my grandma telling me, you know, when she had 6 children, and she told me, you know, when they came home with these jobs and talked about they were doing this, then it was a different type of swagger. And I was like, Grandma, what do you mean? And she was trying to explain it to me, but, you know, I was a child, and as I've grown, I'm starting to understand. Maybe she was on to something about that.
I mean, it was, you know, if you look at history, right?
Yes, sir.
And sometimes we got to be able to follow ourselves to see what we done, you know. But if you look at history, man, you had the Vietnam War, where blacks was, you know, drafted to go out the war. You know what I mean? This is right, you know, in this era, this time span in which you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
You get what I'm saying? So now you already have begun to have a lack of men in the community, right? This was in the smack community. And then, you know, drugs began to enhance and change. You know, women began to be more, you know, on their own because, you know, you had men feeling that this was a good way to support ourselves. You had at this time now, this is when you was going through another Great Depression, right? Factories and all these things, you know, closing down. This really hurt who? The black community, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now when you begin to look at these things, you begin to see how our social structure, you know, was damaged or was at least attacked, right? They come back. They hooked on drugs. You know, they some done lost their mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Women now, you know what I mean, is welfare recipients. You know, now they can have what they need without the men being there. You get what I'm saying? All this happened, you know, in this same span in which you're talking about.
Facts.
In our community. So we never rebounded in our structure of working as a unit together. Once it dismantled, it stayed dismantled. This is what this is our history, man. What come after that? The crack epidemic.
Yeah.
So did it get back stronger then? What happened after that? Then you had the gang epidemic.
Yeah.
When did you ever see it get back to a sense of, you know what I mean, working as a family unit in the community together?
You know, that's where that strategy comes in because I've seen throughout history, you know, many times where black people try to fight back, strong blacks. I mean, a community. I'm not just talking about men, women alike right there with us. You know, we've had several times when we've tried to make a difference. But a lot of times those factions were wrongly infiltrated, wrongly brought down. And I don't, you know, you're right. We have not rebounded from any of that. You know, I think we just kind of accepted it and just kept moving and geared our focus toward individuals' financial success.
Man, whenever you want to be notarized for what you do, whenever you want to be publicized for what you do, you don't want to make it at what you're trying to do. This is our failure.
Okay, talk to us. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
This is our failure. We wanna showcase everything that we do rather than let it show for itself. We want to talk about it openly. You know, we want to fuss. We want to fight rather than work and organize and live. I don't have time to fight.
Right.
If I'm trying to live. I don't have time to showcase if I'm trying to live. I don't have time to prove a point if I'm busy living We have done everything except for just live, man, and know what that looks like and know what that means to ourselves, genuinely and openly. And it's just because we fall prey to what tells us what to do, because we've been watched in everything that we do. There's an algorithm to everything,
Man.
and based off that algorithm, they're gonna give you what you're showing that you're highly, likely to indulge in, and that indulging is never you. That's the greatest mistake.
Yeah, great way to put it too. Because when you think about it, we like just right now. If you jump on YouTube and you go to your favorite YouTube channel, like you said, they're watching that.
Right.
But also, if you go to your favorite YouTube channel, is that YouTube channel of you?
Right.
And if it's not, you're indulging into someone else, and I like that. That's a good perspective.
Yeah. So when you're talking about love, man, you got to see where this love is at. It's absent.
Yikes.
In a general aspect, you get what I'm saying?
No,
because the most time where it show up when you organizing and you together and you're a bandit and you're numbered up is when something happens. That shows you, the failure within us, but failure is cool, so long as you see it and become aware of it and actually now do something, differently. But continuously doing the same, we've been doing the same thing for decades now.
Yeah.
No,
that's definitely true.
And the sad thing is, I made a statement today. I always trying to pray and call and say, God gonna fix it. God sent you and invested in you. So until you begin to own up to that power, own up to that will, what do you have? See, love, man, is something that it's yours alone. Every individual coming into this space was cut, man, of the umbilical cord, of the attachment to someone else. You are not attached. You just choose to act so. And always doing that, you have not, man, went in and attached yourself back to you. Have a natural feel about you. Have a knowing about yourself. That you can be an open expression of that and don't worry about the acceptance, because the next is doing the same of them, which places us all in likeness, man. This is the difference, but alike. But we're not doing it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's go to the next video, man, then we'll come right back.
Already.
How you like?
Big old bowl, got a big old bag. Smell like money, know the bitch gon' break. I'm having my way with it, I'm having my way with it. Got shooters on ditch, bitch better not play with me. I'm having my way with it, I'm having my way with it. I'm having my way with it, I'm having my way with it. I'm having my way with it, that's how I do. Big old bowl, watch how I move. These sticks got plows, kinda hard to man. They better not play with me. Young nigga do damage. And big dog paper. Pockets on sumo. Too much one big. So I pull it over 2-0. I like mine's a twin. That's a Kodak spread. Little bitch tryna fuck. Told her come get big. I'm having my way with it. 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 Big old bowl. Got a big old bag. Smell like money. Know the bitch gon' break. I'm having my way with it. I'm having my way with it. Got shooters on ditch. Bitch better not play with me. I'm having my way with it. I'm having my way with it. I'm having my way with it. I'm having my way with it.
So what's up, bro? Who is you? What's up? What you here for?
Hey man, check this out. You gotta leak out on your Kosher Nostra. I need 50,000 within a week. I'll be back to holler at you.
I'm having my way with it. 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 Big old bowl. Got a big old bag. Smell like money. Though the bitch gon' brag. I'm having my way with it. I'm having my way with it. Got shooters on deck. Bitch better not play with me. I'm having my way with it. 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 I do what I want. Gotta ask the nigga. Driven design. I pass the nigga. Got ice in the wine.
Lights all over me.
We back, man, on the Trainsition Talk Show. I am your host, Train. If you're just now tuning in, we're picking up from the last show, Black Man in Love, and What Is It, part 2. I got my boy in the house, Blue, with me behind the scenes, and he's talking with me. We just having dialogue, man, and just, man, just being enlightening, So if you're just now tuning in, man, stay tuned in and let us know how you feel. If you want to, man, you can call in. The number is 469-708-8609. Again, that number is 469-708-8609. You can call in, man, dive in with me. What else you got for me, Blue? What's on your mind?
All right, so
Got to stretch, man. You
Right.
kind of getting me a little bit with some of these,
I be
making me have to
trying.
dig into my into my treasure box. You know what I'm saying?
For real. Let's and I appreciate that because some of this stuff I just be wondering sometimes, and then like this one, is there a standard to black morals, like, or do we even have morals today?
Say that again.
Is there a standard to black morals, or do we even have just a set group of morals today? And we do have a phone call.
Oh, we got a caller. Thank you, caller.
Hey, what's up? This is Joe.
What's going on, Joe?
Hey,
Hey, man, appreciate you, man, calling in, man. You called in just in time. Did you even hear that question?
I didn't hear it. I was calling in. I didn't hear it all the way.
Man, I'm going to let Blue repeat it again, man, and maybe you can help me out with this one.
Okay.
Is there a standard to black morals, or do we even have black morals at all today?
Don't get quiet.
I hate to give my famous answer, and that's yes and no. Do I believe that there is a standard? Yes. And are there morals and values? There are certain things that, like, don't get me wrong, there are some things that Green and Grandpa did that wasn't always the best. Like, a lot of times, it was some dudes that were having families outside, or they had kids outside the marriage, right? And so it was some things that weren't always the best, but there were a lot of things that they did that were good. Kind of wanted to piggyback off what I was saying earlier, the strong family structure. Like for some of it's a guy Tim Jesse kind of talks about no more OGs. And so how like a lot of the OGs or OGs, some things that you just do. You never heard about nobody going to the family and you kids and women and greens in there, right? So it's a lot of the older heads, we still have those same morals and values, but some of the younger generation is different. And so it's like they weren't doing no drive-by shit at a memorial service for kids like that. You know what I mean? And so in some cases you still have it's there, but it just depends on how they were brought up and where they were brought up. There were certain things that we did, certain things just straight out of line. Like when you talk about black love, if this is my partner, I wouldn't dare talk to his homegirl or mess with his homegirl or mess with his chick, even if it's his ex. You know what I mean? Those when you say black love, even just not from a relationship, from a brotherly love. Like this dude that I was tight with in high school, but I still won't talk to the girl that they talk to in high school. Because we had that love, and we, you know what I mean, we had that respect and those morally. Is something wrong? Some know, but it's still, and so a lot of us, it's not throughout the whole community, but it's still kind of pockets. And it's starting to kind of stretch. Now, I would say we're starting to get that better because even Black love, you see more guys being more expressive. You see more guys, more Black men being present in the home, being present at school, being present in the family, being present in their marriage. And so I would say it's still there, but it's almost like it's pocket.
Let me ask you something, Joe. When you saying being present, right?
Yeah.
Is it being present just being there?
No.
And I say that, yeah. And this is what I say that because,
I know that's what you mean. Yeah.
huh?
All right. So being present, for me, it's always being present, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially.
Right. So now when you're there and you're present, but you're damaged in some of these spaces, and that's not mundane, that's not seen. How present are we? When I'm there, but I'm damaged in my mind. When I'm there, but I'm damaged in my spirit. When I'm there, but I'm damaged in my heart. I'm there because I didn't have it there. That's the wrong purpose of being there. You know, but a lot of us, you know, and this is just, you know, because you got to look at, you know, how many of us is really hanging in there, and not hanging in there, but actually being there for one another.
Yeah.
So are we actually present? And is that present us coming from a sense of wellness, or is it just coming from a sense of I need to be there?
It's pockets. I like to say pockets because there are a lot of men who are dealing with the hurt, and you said earlier the inner child. And we had kind of a discussion a couple of weeks ago in the gentleman's circle. There
Exactly.
are some men that are healing.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And there are some men with scars, and there's some with wounds.
Exactly.
There's some that's being present with wounds, not knowing as soon as she bumped that wound, now you fussing and cussing because she hit that wound.
Right.
Exactly.
Versus some guys, you hit it and it's a scar. You can continue to move on because it's healed.
Right. And see, and that's what we have to, and that's what we really have to be able to talk about openly and share. Like, we want these things, but we have to be willing to see both sides, right? Life is duality, you know. So it's not to shun us, you know what I mean, but it is to showcase us to how, so we can see ourselves better, and we can see ourselves greater, and we can actually place ourselves in situations that we can naturally get better, get greater, and it's like the things that we do, you know. Not to sit up here and try to do promotional, you know, stuff, but it's like the gentleman's circle. You know, it's like every year in going, you know, the gentleman Bar B Q Cigars at the lake, creating these safe spaces, but actually being able to, man, say, hey, this is a space where you can be vulnerable and not be judged. This is a space that where you don't, where it is that you may not know, or you lost, or you confused, but you know that you're seeking and trying. That this is a space where you can openly, man, get these things out and, man, actually get the support that you need. Yeah, the work's still your work to do.
Yeah.
But we all need the support to be able to do it. And that support sometimes have to come from those like things that really understand it like you understand it. I believe that there should be spaces in between women and men, that men, they do have to go through and learn with men, because there are so many men that has been lost through manhood. They didn't get that opportunity to have a passage, you know what I mean, into it. They just grew up saying, I'm a man. Missed a lot of understanding, a lot of talks, a lot of wisdom because of absentees. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, man,
I agree with you 100.
so I believe that there's work that has to be done, but also with the woman just as well, because if we all growed up in these single parent homes, then those girls had suffered just as well, because that mother couldn't always be the nurturer. She had to be, you know what I mean, the man just as well. and play that role. So there was a lot that we both, went through in childhood traumas that we have to be able to acknowledge and see fully that we can actually, man, overcome these things and actually be better with one another in this day and era as a collective, you know what I mean, and not a small collective, because you got to understand that, man, we living in a day of full viruses and not enough antidotes, because not one antidote can kill a full virus. You see what I'm saying? So we have to have more antidotes as working components together that we can really begin to heal effectively as a whole.
And you said it 100 on both sides, because the same way a man has to have grace with a woman, the woman needs to have grace with the man.
Exactly.
We both have been affected, and a lot of times the antidote that works for you may not work with my DNA, may not work with my makeup, and may not heal me. So we still have to be patient and learning that even what took 6 months for you to heal may take me a year to heal from.
Right. Yeah, everybody ain't got them X-Men genes, you know what I'm saying? But man, stay with us, man. Joe, we finna go to the last video, then we gonna be right back on the Transition Talk Show.
All right.
Gone deaf with your gossiping. Ray Charles, tell your boy get. I'm a grown man. Everybody got a past, don't you? Everybody been around a couple times. Just say I'm lying. Ain't got no right to judge another man. Ain't got no business. Get about their business. Worry about who holding hand. In my life, let me live. Going about your own. Hollering about you trying to helping. Just leave me alone. Won't you go on with that? Yapping and nagging like you're better than the weather, like you got your shit together. Leave me alone, go on with the yapping and acting like you're better than the weather. You ain't got your shit together. Sure, I can care less what you call careless. She mine now, she mine. Yeah, and I don't give a damn where you saw her. I'm blind now.
What's going on? We back, man. Hey, man, check this out. If any of y'all see Squeak Mac, y'all tell him Train said, hey, man, that's a hit, man. Keep pushing it, man. Every time we play the song, when we been here jamming, we been here rocking, you know what I mean? So, man, shout out to my boy, man, Marquise Mac, man, with that last jam right there, man, for real.
Definitely my jam. I added it to my Spotify playlist and everything.
Yeah, say he rocking it, man, for real.
And another one you have on here, classic music.
Oh yeah,
I added his song. I heard it from you as well. So man, salute to you and what you're doing, bro. Because I definitely heard those songs here, and I'll be jamming them everywhere else. So artists, get your music on here, man. You definitely getting some exposure,
man, for sure, man. Hey Joe, you still with us, bro?
Oh, I got him on hold. Oh. There we go.
You still with us, Joe?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Man, we're going to let Blue hit us with the next question, man. Let's see what's going on.
All right. Now, this one may be a tough one because a lot of us have had, trauma with our family, parents especially. And so, when you talk about a healed process, how do you have to be healed? Or do you feel like you need to be healed before you're able to truly love your significant other properly?
So for me, it's kind of, and y'all kind of actually hit it earlier.
See,
One,
I'm like, I don't even want to play with it.
say y'all hit it earlier because you gotta remember, one, different people everybody's makeup not the same.
Right.
There are sometimes there are some relations where the guy didn't help the woman heal, or the dude or the woman didn't help the dude heal, right? But then there are sometimes, and it depends on, I'm gonna give a prime example, somebody who's I don't want to put him out there like that, but of train magnitude, right? He can't deal with just anybody because of what he's doing and what he's so for him, if something was to happen, for him to be able to continue to move and go about, it's so much power and so much energy that it takes, that him trying to be in a relationship and continue to do what he's doing and he not healed, he can't operate even at a high level. And so for somebody who may be, I don't want to say the average Joe, of course, because, for me, I'm not your average Joe, but let's just say a guy that just go to work, involved with his family, and he's not pouring out a lot, he can possibly heal a little bit faster, or his hurt may not be as big.
Right.
Versus for me or Train, a lot of times our hurt, it doesn't just involve us. It involves our ministry. It involves how we serve and how we help people. And so it may take more. We may have to go into a silo mode. And so it just depends on sometimes what the trauma is. Because sometimes it's something that can be healed with just a small amount of time. And it's some that may be a longevity healing.
I'm gonna piggyback with you, Joe, because you know me, I'm king for I'm king for saying trauma was only meant to train you. It was never meant to tame you, right? So I believe if I understand that, right, and I take that, right, at some sense of my development comes maturity. In some sense of my development come wisdom, and it allows me to be able to heal past some things. But healing past that means I've been able to forgive some things. Now I'm big on saying I can forgive, but I did not forget.
Right.
That's not me holding on to it. That's just the memory bank. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't hold these things against anything, because I wanna be able to have a full hold on my life, and not be able to hold myself back from that life, right? So we should be able to, but then that takes natural work within ourselves to be able to do that. That's for me to be able to dissect whatever had happened, and for me to make peace with that. Before I try to make peace with anything else, do I have enough peace within myself? See, sometimes things happen to us, and we saying that we falling out with other people, but we really falling out with ourselves, because we're not picking ourselves back up and actually going in what it is that we always wanted of ourselves. We go into a dang on doom's pit. Mm-hmm. So the actuality is, man, should we or can we? Yes. But the way that we do it is first by doing it for ourselves and to ourselves. The greatest thing that you can do is never lose the love of you.
Yeah.
But you first got to come into that. And just sadly, it's not what's taught in our culture. And that's the biggest thing that has to be a change, is teaching to love yourself, but doing it in well-doing and well-being. This is where we're going wrong at. And this is why everyone is seeking and hurting one another, rather than being able to naturally be a lover of one another.
Yeah. Hurt. I always say it all the time. Hurt people.
Yeah. And it's to the point to right now, you know, man, it's just like damaged cars, man. You know, most cars around here, everybody driving used cars and new cars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to look at that use effect.
Yeah, it's real.
You
That's
know what
real.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So until we can naturally, you know, see these things for ourselves, man, and do better placing ourselves and better, man, create that nest for yourself. Don't look for someone else to do it for you first. Let someone see you caught in the effort of yourself and working to do the wellness of you. And you watch how that gravitates to you. You should be able to be a strong discerner to know those things that are there, you know what I mean, as opportunities, or those things there, you know what I mean, to genuinely be there for you. You got to love you strong enough to know these things. And you got to be willing to forgive you in order to be forgiven, you know what I mean, and to be able to live amongst one another. No one is mistake-free.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
I can't, you know, we're imperfect people, and that's the most perfect thing about us. Can I accept that? The moment that I can begin to accept that, I can begin to accept others. Ain't nobody's shame no bigger than the next, man. Just put some light on it, you know what I mean, and walk through it. Once we become examples of that, we get better. And we get better with one another. And we live better with one another. We grow better with one another. We express better with one another. But it takes the work of ourselves to be able to do it first. And I appreciate you guys, man, for tuning in. We're at the end of the Trainsition Talk Show. Joe, I'm going to let you close us out, man, and then we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Appreciate you, as you said, and to just wrap the answer to that question of the healing starts with yourself. Like, the healing starts with you, and a lot of times people don't want to do that work. And so even though someone can help you get through it, you still have to do it. I heard somebody say you can lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink. You can give somebody knowledge, but you can't make them think.
Yeah, exactly.
But one thing they said, you sure can take some salt and slap up in there. And then eventually they'll get it. But as you said, they got to want to do it, you know what I mean? And so no matter how much we want it, and a lot of times, even going back with Black Love, like, a lot of times we want to love people and want to love them to their fullest and want to love them past where they really are and where they have the knowledge of being able to go. And so we have to make sure that we don't want it more for them than they want it for themselves. So it starts with them.
And it's okay to want it for them. I just can't do it for you.
You can't do it for you.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to
and
stay
a
in
lot
my
of times
supporter role.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I learned, I had to let go of help and start wearing support. You know, because support means being you doing it. I'm just supporting you as you do it.
Yeah.
But helping, man, I had to do it, and you ain't learned nothing.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, so we're going to close on that, man.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next Sunday.
All right, y'all have a good one.
You too, Joe.
When you light up, yeah, lights all over me.
I know it seemed like I turned my back, but it's far from true. How could I ever turn my back on the chosen few? So what I do, look at me. In a picture was bittersweet. I did it for all y'all, but I never did do it for me. This is not turn on you, say this is just turning to me. Knowing that I am better than I am. Afraid to look at me, ugly faces is all I got. The pain or horror inside the thing that you keep in the dark. Walking with smiley faces while holding a broken heart. Chambers of locked doors ain't open and kinda rough. Looking at deep wounds, then knowing that I've been cut. So I know that I feel the pain, the umbrella in the rain. It's time to let it go and time to sing a different